Alright guys, today we're going to be repairing a Stihl TS420. The primer ball isn't priming, it seems to get stuck, so there's something going on. Possibly clogged filter or carburetor is clogged up. Either way, we're going to tear this thing apart and find out what's going on. Now, I don't have a carburetor in stock for this if it is the carburetor. I will put in the description brand new carburetor, fuel lines, filters, primer ball, everything that you need to do a fuel system on Stihl TS420. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bolts out. We got one here, one here, one here, one here. They're usually clogged with concrete, so you'll use a pick and blow it out with a can of carb. So a nice long pick out each of the bolts. Yeah, like this one's full of sawdust. Get it all picked clean. It's empty. That one's full. It's like mud in there. Then with a can of carb cleaner, blast right in it. And it should give you the ability to unscrew these now. To take them out, I'm using a Stihl torque tool. It's a T-handle tool. I'll put this in the description below as well. They're not expensive at all. Super handy. Got your spark plug socket, some of the nuts that it fits on, which are usually on this side over here. Yeah, for the handle. It's too big for that. Whatever. But the torque, most important. Alright, and then we're going to take the spark plug cover off. We have to disconnect the throttle arm. See that metal bar right here that's in the plastic clip? You're going to pull this bar up out of the clip with a pair of needle nose pliers. Then the handle can just kind of come off and set to the side. Oh, you know what? No, it can't. Pull the air filter off. 4 screws on that, 2 up top and 2 on the bottom. You may have to pick them and clean them with carb cleaner too. I was wrong again. It was just one of the screws were holding it in place. Alright, so now we're just going to pull these wires out of this little loop here. And then this can just hang off to the side, once you get it all untangled. Okay, now we're going to take off the air filter assembly. And we'll go ahead and remove this throttle arm. It just twists straight on. Just twist straight on out of there. You just turn it like that. Take this bolt out, and then there's 2 bolts inside here, one there, one there. Then we're going to remove this fuel line here. You may have to twist it back and forth with a pair of pliers to remove it. This takes 2 hands apparently. And we're going to pry this forward and out, and we can remove the fuel line going to the carburetor, which is it's going to be the inside one. It's going to the carburetor. Remove this line right off the primer ball. It's going to be this one right here. Before we get too crazy, let's go ahead and spray everything off in here so we can see, because I think there's another fuel line down here. Alright, again, I'm going to spray everything off so that we can see what's going on. I think there's another fuel line down bottom here. Okay, so yeah, there's another line right here. We're going to pop that one off. That one goes all the way over to the fuel intake. So we got to get that one off so we can get the carburetor out. I think I'll actually take it off from this side here and then pull it out. Alright, so I just took both of them off. It looks like these guys have redone these fuel lines before, because usually they're all black like this, and they put these cheap yellow ones in. I have thick red ones that I use, but you know, the yellow ones work. I'm sure they're still working even. They feel soft and whatnot. But you know, we're going to pull it all apart and see what we can do, you know. Now the carb should come straight out. It's not guaranteeing it will. There could be something else hooked up, but we're going to try to pull it out. If there's more, I'll let you know. Alright, yeah, so it just pulled straight out of there. We're going to clean all of that out. We're going to clean this whole outside of this carburetor off. Okay, now we're going to pop the filter out. I'm pretty sure the clog's in the carb, but we're going to check everything. And we're just going to gently pry up on this section right here. Just gently pry up till this comes out. Don't push too hard, just pry gently. So, well, this line looks good. I don't see any issues with it. Go ahead and put that back in. Just press firmly down to get it back in. And it goes right back in, no problem. Alright, so then we can go ahead and hook this bottom fuel line right back up that goes over to the primer ball. Now I'm going to pull the primer ball off so I can test it. I'm going to give it a good rinse off. There's a lot of dirt. Primer ball's working fine, so I reattached it. But there's two clips that hold this in place. You just push this clip here and this clip over here in, and this pops right out, and you can replace the primer ball. But that's fine. The problem's in the carburetor. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this carburetor apart. First we're going to take this main bolt on the bottom off. Oh, that looks fine. The fuel pump diaphragm is good. It's clean inside the screen that goes to the needle valve. I still can't pull through this line here, so we're going to take these top 4 screws off and take this top off. This diaphragm looks like it's fine. It's nice and soft, so we're going to gently peel this diaphragm off. It's important you get it off in one piece. Now we're going to go through and squirt through everything. We've got a main jet here. We can hold this down and spray through the screen. And we can spray through all the other little holes that are here. We also have like anywhere the lines go through, we want to spray through them. It should be clear through every port. And then there's like one right here that's kind of important too. We're going to make sure that one's clear. After spraying everything with carburetor cleaner, set it down and let it dry completely before putting your diaphragms on. You can swell your diaphragms up with a carb cleaner. Clean the diaphragms off with a little spray oil. Reinstall this diaphragm onto this, just like that, and then put this top back on and bolt it down. Now we're going to reinstall the fuel pump diaphragm and cap back onto the carburetor. Now with everything together, you should be able to pull through this line slightly. That is the suction line that goes to the primer ball. This line goes to the fuel filter side of the the tank grommet. It goes to the fuel filter side, so it pulls fuel in through this line and out through this into the primer ball, and then back from the primer ball back into the tank again. So that's how everything runs. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the carburetor. It actually just slides right on in. This line is going to get hooked back up here. This line will go under the spring and then hook up here. I ended up putting a new primer ball in it, and the new fuel line here to there. So then you just hook this choke arm back in there. There's a little knob right here that this hole fits into, and you got to get this flat spot back into this slot, and you just slide it back into place. Oh shoot, that didn't help. So it slid right into place. It'll be right up in here and right in that, right over that knob right there. Now we're going to reinsert the 3 bolts. It's going to be this bolt here, another 2-handed job apparently, and then 2 bolts back down in here. Reconnect this line. This is just a vent, and then this line is going to go back in. It's going to go down in here and then twist it, and you're just going to stab it right up here. Then it's right there, you know, available for you to get to for your trigger when you put the handle back on here. Now it's priming up properly. Then blow out with air each of your air filters before you reassemble them on. You'll have fine thread and coarse thread bolts. The fine thread are what hold the air filter on. Now we're going to work our cover back into place. We're going to rewrap this up through here and get the cover kind of set in place. just like that. Set the cover in place. Get it all lined up where it'll bolt down. It'll take some wiggling. Get it. Once you got it in the right spot, you'll know. And these lines are going to go back up into this groove here. You're going to force them down in there. And it'll be set right in, nice and even all the way around. Down in nice and even. Your wires will be tucked back in. And then you can use your coarse thread bolts to screw all 4 of these holes down. Now we're going to take this arm right here and we're going to set it into this slot. I can't really hear. Let's see if I can. Boom. Alright. This arm is going to go into this slot, which is your trigger. So we're going to grab it with needle nose and force it down in that slot, and it's going to go down into it until it clicks. You may even have to pull the throttle and push it down at the same time. Now we're going to actually put on the spark plug cover and tighten it down. And that's it. TS 420, carburetor replacement, fuel lines, you know, etc. Alright guys, I don't think I showed you cleaning the gas tank out. Make sure you clean the gas tank out before you put this all back together and everything. Any of the parts you'll need will be down in the description. Carburetor, fuel lines, primer ball, air filters, anything you could possibly need to get this thing going is going to be in that description. If this helped you in any way, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Today's t-shirt, if you guys want your t-shirt to be on any of my videos, just mail me one. I'll wear it for a day, do 3 to 5 videos. Alright guys, peace.